Border Force officers have pulled aside this passenger who is returning from Vietnam after they noticed some unusual behaviour.
Just the way he acted around the baggage carousel sort of alerted my suspicions, and this is why we've selected him for a baggage search.
Nothing of concern is found in the man's suitcase, so officers' attention turns to the blue plastic bag he's carrying.
The second bag is full of food stuff, and it's all commercially sealed and packaged.
Swabs are taken from the food packets to check for any traces of illicit substances, and this testing brings about a sudden change in the man's demeanour.
He's now not as talkative as he was, and he's saying that he's a little bit sick, that he's not feeling well.
Officers assist the passenger after he explains that there is medication in his bag which he needs to take.
We're going to go and get you something to eat.
I want to eat.
But you have to have something to eat, so that's you take this one.
That one.
This one has to be taken with food. Can we get you something to eat? Both of his name? They are both of his name. Yeah, let him have it. It's up to you. We warned him. Okay, yes, please. All right, we're going to give it to you. One this and one this.
The swab samples are now run through the ion scanner, and the result is something that could see him deteriorate even further.
We did an ion scan, and the result is positive for ephedrine.
Officers must now step up the investigation and open the packets.
But what is actually inside after opening it up and looking inside is a white powder, so this then needs to be tested further.
The suspicious powder will now undergo secondary testing while the man is thoroughly questioned.
Okay, so we're going to take you into the room over there and we'll get you an interpreter so that you can speak to the interpreter.
Officers now read the man his rights.
So you don't have to say or do anything, but anything you do say or do may be used in evidence. Do you understand that?
While the man anxiously waits for the official test results, it appears he already knows it's not going to be a good result. Secondary testing of a white powder found concealed in food packets belonging to this passenger has confirmed officers' concerns.
That has also resulted positive for ephedrine, which can be used in the manufacturing of ice.
As the evidence mounts against the man who appears to have been caught with a restricted substance, his state of health continues to decline.
He's now saying that he's feeling sick. I do believe he may be a bit ill and dizzy, but I also believe that he's probably putting on a bit of a show. No, don't sit on the floor.
I scared to fall out. She did.
I'll sit on the floor.
It took me too long.
Okay.
His behaviour is making it impossible to continue the interview.
He's saying he's still feeling sick, so at this point we've had to call for an ambulance.
Hello? Interpreter, can you confirm that if we brought any food in, he would refuse to eat it?
We've had the paramedics check him, they've given him the okay, so we can proceed with our investigations.
With his clean bill of health confirmed, he's left with no choice but to face the serious consequences of bringing an illicit substance into Australia.
We have found 7.99 kilos of ephedrine, and so now we'll be handing it over to our investigations branch to proceed with the prosecution.
At Melbourne Airport, Border Force officers have already started searching the luggage of an Australian man arriving from Los Angeles, and his nervous behaviour is causing some concern.
He's been sweating a lot, just while we've been talking to him, and his behaviour is leaning over the bench a lot and just things that most people don't do when you're looking through their bags, asking a lot of questions about why we're going through his bag. So we want to make sure that he's not got anything in his bags or on his person or inside his body. You know, we do get passengers that carry drugs internally as well, so yeah, that can be a big problem and difficult to find as well.
The man claims he lives in Sydney, but he has made several trips from Melbourne to Los Angeles in recent months, and Officer Jerome wants to know why.
So did you come down from Sydney to Melbourne to go to fly, or are you living in Melbourne?
I'm sort of living in Melbourne because
Where are you actually living?
I'm into relationships, sort of. I've got somebody here and somebody in LA.
So
And
is
even
this
though I
an
officially live in
apartment
Sydney, yes, it is.
South
Yeah,
Melbourne?
yeah.
And whose place is that?
That's his place. This is only a recent thing that's happened here in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And he, you know, it's all quite complicated with trying to manage my partner in the US and everything as well, and let him not know about this.
His answer doesn't justify why he's so nervous, but then he offers another explanation.
He wanted to point out that he may have a marijuana joint inside his bag, and he said, I tried to find it, couldn't find it, so he said, you may come across that or not. So I said, you know, are you okay? Are you physically all right? You're sweating a lot, you all right?
Yeah, no, I'm just worried about the and it's all like you all seem to think I'm smuggling or something.
It's an unusual response, and a swab taken from some of his personal belongings to check for traces of may indicate what this passenger is really up to. And the result is negative. The man claims the reason for his nervousness is because there may be a in his suitcase, but the case is now empty, and as it's put through the X-ray, no or any other illicit substances are found.
All right, we can pack this up.
Yep.
His suitcase is given the all clear, and the passenger can't repack it fast enough. But officers aren't completely satisfied just yet.
Oh, you need the old bag.
A second swab is taken, this time from the man's backpack, and if it's positive, they'll have to step up the investigation. He will now be taken to a private room for further questioning, as officers search for the source of readings.
We've asked him, has he used those sort of recently, and he said he had used days before he left Australia, but he's also got some, in his baggage, we found some anti-diarrhea tablets, which is a big question mark on people that might be carrying something internally.
He will now undergo a frisk search to check for any concealments of prohibited goods on his body. But when Officer Jerome asks the man to consent to an internal body scan, things take a dramatic turn.
He's just admitted that he has got something internally. He's told us that he's carrying 3 to 4 ounces, and he's put that inside himself and carried it from America. So the federal police will arrive, and they'll get him transported to the hospital in an ambulance for his welfare. We've got to keep an eye on him, make sure that those don't start leaching into his body.
In Sydney, Border Force officers have stopped a young woman returning from Mexico for a bag search, and they are surprised when she immediately tells them she is carrying narcotics for personal use.
After examination of her, we found small amounts of cocaine, small amounts of amphetamine.
A thorough search of her luggage fails to find any more illicit substances. However, the investigation is now stepped up as officers become aware that the woman is travelling with her boyfriend, who they locate in the passenger hall and escort to an interview room for a bag search.
Passenger is pretty cool, pretty calm. He's just sort of sitting back, just answering questions politely.
It may all turn out to be nothing, as no obvious concealments are found in the man's luggage. But there is one item he is carrying that raises officers' suspicions.
We found 3 bottles of champagne in the passenger's bag, and we'll take them away for further testing and see where we go from there.
A swab test will indicate if these bottles or the passenger need any further investigation.
And it's come up positive for cocaine.
Liquefying narcotics to smuggle them across borders is a method used by drug cartels. But if these bottles do contain cocaine, it's a very sophisticated concealment.
I haven't seen liquid cocaine like this. It's normally tampered with, the seals are tampered with, but this one's not, so we'll wait and see.
One of the bottles is open so the liquid inside can be tested, and officers finally spot a small sign that something may be up.
This appears like there's plastic.
It's plastic.
It's plastic, it looks like glad wrap.
It's the first indication of possible tampering, but it's not the only one.
Okay, so there's no
No
pop
pop.
at all.
A sample of the liquid will now be tested, as officers are still unsure what they are dealing with.
It still kind of looks like champagne. It
Smells like
smells
champagne.
like champagne.
A first offender test should give them a definitive answer.
If it's cocaine or champagne.
Ready?
Go.
And the results are almost immediate.
Yeah, cocaine. It's positive cocaine.
A secondary test is carried out to confirm the results.
Yep, same thing. Cocaine.
The bottles contain pure liquid cocaine. And close inspection of the label reveals this concealment is no accident.
For Australian from Rosebery.
Okay,
So he's taking it over with him.
he's taking it with him.
All the evidence will now be documented, and the Australian Federal Police are called to deal with both the male and female passengers.
The female has been given a court attendance notice today for the small personal stash of cocaine and dexamphetamine that we found in her possession. So she's been released pending the court attendance notice.
The man is now arrested and taken into custody by the Australian Federal Police.
Whoa, that looks different. You see that, Marie?
Yeah,
What do you think it could be?
it's meant to be a baby seat, yeah?
Yeah.
Car seat.
Just
Definitely.
says car seat, $450 US.
Well, it's definitely not just a car seat. There's something
what if
else
it's
in there.
food or organic?
I don't know.
Do you think it's inside the seat or do you think it's just on top of it? Or
No, I think it's on the inside. It's not sitting outside the car seat because of the way that's the out part. That's the outside of the seat.
so you think
I
inside?
reckon that's inside.
Why would they put bags of organic on the inside?
But that's the thing. Like, is it food? You wouldn't conceal food like that.
No, not inside a baby seat.
No.
You see the headrest here was clear.
Yeah.
But there. I think probably warrants further inspection, especially given they've sent it from the States. It's cost $170 US to get it here.
Postage.
Yeah, postage.
And you wouldn't go to all that effort to conceal food.
No.
Officers will now investigate further to check what substance would be worth the effort of concealing inside a child's car seat.
They've got a website.
Oh, yeah, well, that's obviously a legitimate supplier. Whether it's actually from them or they've just used that name for this.
Used it. Yeah.
The supplier's name checks out, but this package still requires further investigation.
I'm not happy to let it go unless we see it's either something innocuous
No.
or...
Definitely have to open it up.
OK, we'll take it inside.
Yeah, let's do it.
When the parcel is opened, it appears that the goods have been tampered with.
Ooh, it's got some...
Heavy.
Very
It's
heavy.
weighty. 9.9 kilos. That's a gross weight.
It's heavier than that.
Yeah, heavier.
And when it's unwrapped, officers are hit with another alarming clue.
Oh. You smell that?
Yeah, that's pretty strong, isn't it?
It's very strong. It's almost like glue.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. That doesn't look very...
That doesn't look good.
That doesn't look good at all.
That's not a clean-cut mould.
No. It's like a big patch has been put in there.
Yeah.
And they've put something over the top of it.
Looks like, yeah, something's been cut out and remoulded.
And repainted.
Officers decide to run a second X-ray to confirm the size of the concealment.
Oh, look at that.
There must be 15, 16 individual bags of whatever it is.
Yeah, there's heaps.
They are now doing a swab test to determine what it may be.
We've got an alarm for cocaine and for methamphetamine.
Officers must now drill into the seat to confirm the indication.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. That shouldn't be there.
That shouldn't be there.
White powder of some
White
description.
powder.
The powder is now tested with a narcotics indicator kit. A purple colour change will confirm officers' suspicions.
It's definitely an amphetamine.
It's come up with purple colour.
Given the iron scan and given that colour,
Yeah.
I think we're going to have a fair bit of methamphetamine in here.
There is, it's a nice bright colour.
It's a clever concealment and a pleasing result for Australian Border Force officers.
It's quite going to be a significant amount in there and it could do a lot of harm on the streets. So it's very good that we've stopped this today and hopefully AFP will be able to make some further inquiries.
Officer Carley spots something unusual in a consignment of phone charges.
Megan, come and have a look at this one. This parcel's from Malaysia. It says that it's phone accessories. It's declared as phone accessories. So if you see these individual little electronic products, we zoom in even more, so you can see the blue is the little metal part where it would plug into the wall. The plastic orange outline looks like some sort of plastic casing, and it's the green chunk inside the plastic casing.
There's something just inside there.
There's a blob in there, isn't it? It looks like it's in all of them though. So it could be maybe insulation or something that's meant to be there. So we might feed it back through the X-ray from a different angle.
Yeah, no worries.
And see if we can get a clearer image. There we go.
Thank you.
A second X-ray may help identify the unusual substance.
Side on's all right?
Yeah.
That may or may not be a legitimate part of the consignment. But the new image only gives officers more cause for concern.
Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't expect to see that in phone charges.
No.
But it's in all of them, so maybe it's meant to be there, but I think we better take it unpack it. Yeah. Originally we put the parcel through just laying flat. This time we've put it back through on its side, which will change the X-ray image slightly, but the top view image, it looks like there's some inconsistency in the phone charges, but it's in all of them, so we'll just take it over to our secondary examination, take them all out and just have a closer look. So we brought this parcel over for a secondary examination. An Australia Post employee has cut the parcel open for us. It's phone charges, it's what we thought. What we found is a large amount of electronic mobile phone wall charges. There's a lot of them. Maybe it looks like it's about 200 phone charges.
On face value, the charges appear to be authentic.
Yeah, at least that makes the declaration seem a bit more genuine.
But on closer inspection, things start to unravel.
Chinese plug though.
Yeah, they do, Chinese plug. Wouldn't you expect those plugs to be an Australian plug?
You would, wouldn't you? The cord is actually coming out of the tail. That one looks like it's not even sealed properly.
Okay, I think need to get some tools and break some of these open.
The dodgy charges are difficult to dismantle.
You can see some sort of foil bag or something in there. There we go.
But what's inside will do more than just power up a phone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's not meant to be there.
No, most definitely not.
Let's try to get that out. We found sort of a small concealment wrapped in a black electrical tape.
Certainly a tight fit. It's heat sealed. There we go.
We've got some carbon paper as well and aluminium foil. So we're just going to unwrap that and see what we've got. There we go. So whatever this substance is, they've gone to a fair bit of trouble to hide it. It's a fairly intricate concealment as well. There's nearly 200 phone charges in there, so they've done their best to hide it. I think it's funny that people still think that aluminium foil distorts an X-ray image. It doesn't work. Yeah, they think they can get it through, but we have the technology to find it. So we've cut the plastic bag open that has the crystalline substance in it.
Officers suspect the crystals will test positive for methamphetamine.
Since it's quite chunky.
So they conduct a nick test to make sure.
So this test has 3 vials. So when we crack that last vial, we're looking for a fairly explosive blue colour change, and that will tell us that this substance is methamphetamine. So that's a presumptive positive test result for methamphetamine, or commonly known as ice. And so we see a lot of methamphetamine from around the world. We're seeing methamphetamine come from places we've never seen it before. So it's coming from everywhere.